For the possible effects of the new Budget Act, and first responders in Joplin roll up their sleeves in preparation for a blood drive competition. KOAM News at 10 is next. Now at 10, area small businesses gathered to discuss how recent legislation could affect them. Plus, we take a look at how some of those same laws could have an impact on the future of Medicaid in our area. And the city of Joplin celebrates a brand new mural with a ribbon cutting ceremony.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Businesses and healthcare providers in the 4 states brace for potential impacts from the passage of the president's budget bill. This is KOAM News at 10. I'm Dow Quick. Whether those impacts are positive or negative might be too soon to tell, but some area agencies are preparing through education or waiting due to uncertainty. Today, local business owners in McDonald County got the opportunity to learn more about how state and federal legislation might impact them. It was part of a Launch and Learn event hosted by the McDonald County Chamber of Commerce. A representative from the National Federation of Independent Businesses spoke to business owners about what work they're doing to support them, as well as answering questions about recent legislation. Topics included action taken to address Proposition A, concerns in Missouri, and why the Federation sees the recently passed Big Beautiful Bill as a win for businesses across the country.
They help us get legislation passed that gets us more beneficial to our business for investments such as the Section 179 and those capital investments that we have to make to continue to be competitive.
Another issue local business owners say they're concerned about is property taxes. That'll be the topic of the next Lunch and Learn hosted by the McDonald County Chamber of Commerce. On the healthcare side, the One Big Beautiful Bill cuts to Medicaid will affect hospitals in the 4 states, with $1 trillion set to be cut over the next 10 years nationwide. The future is unclear. Hospitals in the 4 states tell us that it's too soon to know how they will be affected.
That we are preserving it, we're protecting it, we're saving it for those who need it the most. This is something I've been working on since New Year's Eve.
We just don't know. Our patients rely heavily on Medicaid, so obviously we're very concerned and we're trying to look into the facts, but we just don't have the information, the data right now to know how is this going to impact Missouri and what are the changes going to be.
Medicaid is a federal program designed to help lower-income Americans afford health care. Here are some numbers from Medicaid.gov. In Missouri, more than 1 million people are signed up for Medicaid and CHIP services. In Kansas, more than 400,000 and over 900,000 in Oklahoma. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Doug Heddy for a first look at the weather.
Hey, and it definitely turned out to be hot and humid for us today. Temperatures all the way up into the lower 90s. The heat index at times 95 to 100 across the region. Let me take you into Thursday morning. We're going to start near 70, very muggy start as we go through the day. I think most of us 90, 91, 92 degrees for afternoon highs. Very similar to what we did see today. 91 was our high, average high is 90. So this is how hot it should be for this time of the year. 102 is a record set back in 1980. Outside 77 in Joplin. Pittsburgh is sitting at about 76 degrees. So we're slowly dropping back, still an 80 in Anderson, 80 in Veneta. Now, we have some thunderstorm chances, bigger complexes, more widespread. Moving in as we head toward the weekend. We're going to look at that here in a bit.
See you soon. The 58th annual Newton County Fair is officially underway. There's a lot going on at the fairgrounds in Neosho, Missouri. 4-H'ers are busy showing their market livestock. From steers and goats to rabbits and chickens, a lot of work goes into getting each animal ready for fair season. In addition to livestock, the exhibit buildings are now open to the public where you can view a variety of award-winning projects.
Used to, when I was little, we went to the fair and I saw all the stuff here that was going on, and I thought, wouldn't that be fun to make? So we started making it, and all the plants, the ink pens, art, everything.
The Newton County Fair runs through Saturday. You'll find more information on the events page at KOAMnewsnow.com. The Vernon County Fair also kicked off today at the Vernon County Youth Fairgrounds this morning. 4-H exhibitors checked in and weighed livestock as they prepared for the shows. Exhibitors were registering dairy goats and rabbits and weighing in market steers. The final day of this year's fair will be Saturday. City of Joplin debuted a brand new mural this afternoon. A ribbon cutting ceremony for the mural took place at Smith's Flooring Store. The Joplin Arts District partnered with Aloe Fiber on the mural titled All Aboard, whose theme is a message of unity, welcoming everyone regardless of who or what they are.
We work our business. We put all our money pretty much in that business. We sacrifice a lot to have a business down here. And we want tourism to come off of Range Line or the highways through here. And we thought a welcoming message that they would like to get their picture taken in front of would be a good idea.
About 40 people attended the event. All were treated to refreshments following the public debut. First responders in Joplin roll up their sleeves in preparation for a good cause. We have that story coming up. But up first, experts warn of a rise in pneumonia cases in some parts of southwest Missouri.
Are only at Roper Honda.
Medical professionals say there's an increase in pneumonia cases in some parts of southwest Missouri, specifically among adults 30 to 60 years old. Reagan DeTrolio talked to doctors and nurse practitioners on what they're seeing in the hospital.
I've seen a lot in just 30-year-old women, men that are healthy otherwise, and they were hit hard.
Keisha Hooper is a nurse practitioner with Citizens Memorial Hospital. She says there could be a variety of reasons as to why pneumonia cases are high this time of year.
We're in the summer months as well with travel and holidays, so we're gathering in close proximity with others. I think all factors are playing a role in why we're seeing such a spike in pneumonia cases this summer.
Hooper says pneumonia is not just an infection you need to worry about in the winter months.
I just think it's very important for people to be aware that pneumonia, viral illnesses, respiratory illnesses are not an isolated seasonal illness. They can still occur in the summer months.
There's also other respiratory infections on the rise. You can see in this chart from the Center for Disease Control from July 2024 to February of this year, we start to see an increase in December for flu and COVID hospitalizations, with peaks reached here in January and February. Dr. Barbara Bumberry with Mercy Hospital in Springfield says you must take pneumonia symptoms seriously.
You're going to have similar symptoms as other less severe upper respiratory infections, fever, chills, but you may be running a higher fever for a longer period of time, coughing, productive or dry, shortness of breath.
If it's not responding to the over-the-counter decongestants or things that you've tried at home and you're not getting any better, any relief, definitely pneumonia is a potential.
In both Kansas and Oklahoma, the CDC reports the overall level of acute respiratory illness, including pneumonia, at very low levels. KOAM, the Community Blood Center of the Ozarks, and local first responders are teaming up for the second Boots, Badges, and Bandages blood drive in Joplin. The event's a friendly competition between Joplin Police, CMS, and the fire department to see who has the greatest showing, meaning both community supporters and team members. After a strong turnout last year, organizers are aiming even higher this time around.
Because of the tremendous turnout last year, we just thought we can do that again and maybe even a little better. So our goal is 130 donors. So we'll need to see 150 or 75 or more, maybe even 200 to come through. But we want everyone to come and donate to help the community.
This year's blood drive is going to be July 26th at the Joplin Police Department's Public Training Center on Swede Lane in Joplin. A little later, when it's okay to let your kids play with trash.
Turning trash into treasured fun. I'm Tina Kraus at a recycled playground where eco-friendly fun is the name of the game.
Plus, the heat's not going anywhere anytime soon. We're going to look at that coming up.
Looking to sell your RV? Waits on.
Well, it definitely turned out to be hot and humid for us today. Lower 90s during the afternoon. Pretty much clear skies. Of course, Monday, Tuesday, we had scattered thunderstorms. Not the case for us today. Clear skies. We're going to stick with the clear skies as we go through the overnight hours. Temperatures, though, it's going to be a muggy start. We're going to start lower 70s, right around 70 degrees. As we go through the morning hours, mid-80s by noon. I think most of us are going to top out 90, 91, 92 degrees during the afternoon. So overall, very similar to what we did see today. Tomorrow night, we back down lower 70s, low to mid 70s once again. Let me take you into Friday afternoon. Hot, humid again. High temps 90, 91, 92 degrees. We're going to be watching, though, a complex of thunderstorms trying to get in here Friday evening and Friday night. We're right at about that 48-hour mark. Once you get under 48 hours, the high-res models really get much better and more accurate. But it looks like these guys trying to get in. Southeastern Kansas, and then periods of showers and thunderstorms. Could be some heavy rain as we go through Friday night into Saturday morning. Showers, thunderstorms along that I-44 corridor. Most likely what's going to happen is this pushes out and then we regenerate more as we go into Saturday afternoon. So if you're hitting the lakes, camping, whatever, just keep that in the back of your mind. Make sure you watch out as we are going to have a few rounds over the weekend. All right, 72 to start on your Thursday, 88 by noon, high temp, 92 degrees. Looking outside, great shot. Indigo Sky Casino and Resort, of course. Indigo is just outside of Seneca, Missouri. Temperature is great, mid to upper 70s to near 80 degrees. We're going to drop back near 70. It's just sticky. Temperature would be fine. It's just sticky. Dew points are sitting 65 to lower 70s. So if you look at our dew point tracker, so what this means for you is it feels sticky to muggy, almost a little soupy out there. That's going to be the case tonight. In fact, our heat indices, even right now, it still feels like about 80 to 82 degrees across the region. All right, heat index as we go into your Thursday, 95 to about 98, 99 degrees. Again, the way it feels to your skin. Much of the same on Friday. Heat indices 95 upwards to about 100 degrees. All right, so here's a ridge of high pressure producing us heat, humidity. It's going to break down. Here comes a wave right into the Central Plains as we get into the weekend. So this wave will give us rounds of showers and thunderstorms, and then high pressure kind of builds back in early next week, kind of cutting it off a little bit before another system moves in late next week that could cool us off a little bit more. All right, so on Saturday, upper 80s across the region, bands of showers and thunderstorms. Saturday night, bands of showers and thunderstorms into Sunday morning, a break, and then we fire some more off by the time we head into Sunday. But rainfall potential over the next 4, 5, 6 days. We got to see where the heavy band set up. A lot of areas, half an inch, maybe 2 or 3 inches. 92s on your Thursday, and then on your Friday, 80s over the weekend just due to the clouds and the showers and thunderstorms. Back into the 90s again Monday and Tuesday of next week.
And a lot of temps highs in the 80s. That'll be welcome.
Absolutely.
In Texas, rescue workers continue to search for the more than 170 people who remain missing following the deadly weekend flash floods. Search teams were at Camp Mystic today as Karen Hall reports 5 campers remain missing.
In Kerr County, Texas, search teams combed through the grounds of Camp Mystic on Wednesday. Campers' belongings and a broken sign reading "Jesus wept" stretched out on the campgrounds. More than 24 girls and counselors were killed in the 4th of July flash floods. 5 campers and a counselor are still missing. In Washington, Senator Ted Cruz talked about his visit to Camp Mystic earlier this week.
There's one cabin, the cabin where the youngest girls were in, called Bumble Inn. The water blew out the windows in that cabin and swept all of the girls and the counselors out. Every girl in that cabin is either confirmed dead or missing.
Elsewhere in Texas, cleanup efforts continue, including in Georgetown.
I just lost everything in my big trailer. It's a voltage. I think it's a 24-inch trailer. Lost everything in it.
At least 120 people have been confirmed dead, and more than 170 remain missing across the state. Now, rescue workers say a key challenge in the search is sifting through miles of land and water.
We are finding vehicles and RVs deep inside the debris that you can't even see from the outside.
At every press conference in Kerr County since Friday, reporters continue to press officials about whether emergency alerts were sent in time for people to evacuate.
Those questions are going to be answered. I believe those questions need to be answered to the family of the missed loved ones, to the public.
For now, search efforts continue. Officials say they will not rest until all the missing are found. Karen Wall, CBS News, Kerrville, Texas.
Today, Texas Governor Greg Abbott ordered flags lowered to half-staff throughout the state. Also today, Governor Abbott added new flood-related items to the special legislative session taking place in Texas later this month, including a discussion about improving flood warning systems and strengthening flood emergency communications. Still ahead, the Joplin Outlaws play a road doubleheader, and Oklahoma City's big man signs a long-term contract extension. John Dales has those stories and more up next in sports.
There's a reason during Carlton.
Last night, the Joplin Outlaws bounced back from a slow start to their road trip. They lost 2 out of 3 to the Texarkana Rhinos, but then Joplin starts a series against Piney Woods and earned a 7-4 victory yesterday. Tonight, the Outlaws and Timberhogs were set to play a doubleheader down in White Oak, Texas, but that gets canceled due to rain in the area. The two teams will instead play a doubleheader tomorrow before the Outlaws return to the four states for their Fort Scott series. In the Mink League, the Nevada Griffins play tonight as well. They drop one to the Sedalia Bombers, final score 9-1. After tonight, Nevada continues its long road trip. Griffins' last 3 games have been away from home. They've got 5 more before they return to Lions Stadium. Next one is at Jeff City tomorrow night. And in Major League Baseball, tonight's Diamond Deep Dive, Royals and Cardinals both play. Kansas City has taken the first 2 games from the Pirates, so it has the chance to finish off a series sweep. Last time the Royals did that was a little bit under a month ago against the Texas Rangers, and they do it again tonight. Kansas City takes down Pittsburgh 4-3. Salvador Perez got things started with a solo home run in the 2nd inning, then came to the plate with the score tied at 3 in the bottom of the 8th, and he hits his 2nd home run of the day. That one proves to be the game winner. Royals are now 46-48 on the season. That is 3 games back of the American League's final wildcard spot. Much different story in St. Louis. Cardinals fall to the Nationals 8-2. Tough outing for their starting pitcher, Andre Palante. He gives up 7 earned runs in 6 innings of work. Despite the loss, Mason Wynn with a nice day at the plate. He has 3 hits and 1 run batted in. These two will see each other for the series finale. That one gets started tomorrow at 6:45. Major League Baseball announces today it'll be using an automated ball strike challenge system during Tuesday's All-Star Game in Atlanta. We've seen this used in spring training, where umpires behind home plate still make judgment calls on what's a ball and what's a strike. Teams, though, can challenge if they feel the umpires got it wrong, and the ABS system uses an automated strike zone as a reference. Teams will get 2 challenges apiece in the All-Star Game. And closing things out with a look at pro basketball, just last week, the Oklahoma City Thunder signed their star player Shai Gilgeous-Alexander to a long-term contract extension. And today, ESPN reports that OKC big man Chet Holmgren has agreed to a 5-year maximum rookie contract extension, which could reach $250 million. The 23-year-old was the number 2 overall pick in the 2022 NBA draft. This extension would keep him under contract with OKC through the 2030-31 season. That's also the final year of SGA's newly signed contract extension. Holmgren has dealt with some injuries in his first few seasons in the NBA. He missed 3 months this year due to a hip injury, but he came back in February. And of course, he was a big part of the Thunder's run to a championship last month. And that's sort of the way things go. You got to build to win the championship, and then once you do that, you got to try to keep everybody intact.
And it usually becomes more expensive because after all, they are now champions.
That's right, yeah.
We'll be right back.
Repetitive injury.
Claire Moore, a four-state hero.
Recycling just got a lot more fun at a one-of-a-kind playground where waste is turned into an art-filled adventure. Tina Krause has details.
2-year-old Jude has visited a lot of playgrounds, but this one speaks his language. Armed with a pool noodle and a big imagination, he's dialing into the joy of junk.
So yeah, it's kind of like just really opening your mind.
Designer Ruta Irbita helped create Replay, a recycled playground inside London's South Bank Centre, Europe's largest arts hub.
Everything here is from theatre, from films, from shoots, from fashion. These were scraps from a bag making company.
Old scraps turned into new toys.
We call them the caterpillars. These are the cores for medical bandaging.
Artist Sam Casely says the playful possibilities pair perfectly with protecting the planet.
We're saying, here's some objects that used to be some fabric that was going to be made into a bag but now isn't, but you're going to turn it into a cloak for a king, or you're going to turn it into a den.
Or a tunnel like this, built from chairs at a celebrity wedding.
She's my silver snake.
And a slithery snake sewn from leftover lycra, filled with foam from old theater seats. Designers say the ideas are endless.
Kind of like seeing the world with new eyes almost, seeing potential in things that are deemed waste.
I think you might be creating little artists here as well.
Absolutely, yeah. Through giving children these abstract tools to build their own things, they have the potential to become artists.
Is it a snake?
Kids like Jude, learning that sometimes the best way to clean up the world is to play in it. Tina Kraus, CBS News, London.
Designers hope more communities will create their own recycled playgrounds. They say all you need is waste, space, and your imagination, and we should have plenty of all three of those. Kids love playing with trash, even if it's not recycled. You know, any parent with an old cardboard box and a small kid knows that for sure, but this is a lot more beautiful than that. The weather, kind of nasty for a little while.
Yeah, it's going to be hot. It's going to be humid. High temps Thursday and Friday. Very similar to the way it was today. Partly sunny skies. Not much of a breeze. Now, we are going to get some thunderstorms in here. Some widespread thunderstorms that everybody should be affected by the time we head into the weekend. So we'll be focusing on that.
All right, final sports notes.
The Royals, they're on a roll right now. They've won 4 games in a row. They have tomorrow off before their last series before the All-Star break. That's against the Mets. Starts on Friday.
They're not going to want the All-Star break
You're
to
right,
come.
yeah.
I think they're on a streak right now. Thanks for joining us. Don't forget the morning show starts at 5 a.m. and let's make it a great tomorrow.